Welcome to the Part-Time Hustle. I'm Joe, and here we encourage everybody to be fully committed to their part-time hustle, no matter how part-time it is. Whether you're working 3 to 5 hours a week to develop an additional stream of income for your family, and that's your long-term plan going forward, or whether you're working 20 hours a week in your garage, building a business that you hope to launch full-time soon. No matter where you are on that spectrum, we encourage everybody to be fully committed to their part-time hustle. If you're on board with that, stick around. My wife and I have been thrifting for 30 years. Thrifting, garage sailing, flea markets, because we enjoy it. And we have no problem buying used clothes for ourselves, for our kids, used toys, used tools. There's just a lot of value in buying secondhand. We always have. Reselling is something that is new to us. I've been doing it about 4 months now. And when I started, I immediately started driving up to Houston, which is 50 minutes away from my home, because there's multiple thrift stores, kind of some of them are clumped together. I can go hit 3 or 4 of them in a short period of time. And they're big stores and they seem to be affordable. Our local Goodwill I had written off when I started reselling because my impression from the times we had been in there for personal use was that it was smaller and that it was more expensive. I decided I would give it a shot and see if maybe there was some value in this Goodwill for a reseller. So over a 2-week period of time, I went 7 or 8 times. And I recorded my thoughts a little bit as we went. Let's watch those now, and then I'll wrap this up and let you know how I really feel about this store. I'm at my local Goodwill. It's about 8 or 10 minutes from my house, and it's on my way to everywhere that I go. I could stop by and shop this Goodwill all the time, but I've kind of written it off. It's smaller, and it seems to be expensive. But I've been listening to other YouTubers talk about visiting the same thrift stores over and over and some of the benefits to doing that day after day. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to try and stop here, I don't know, 8 or 10 times in the next 12 days. That's the goal. This is actually day number 2 out of 3. And we're going to see if we can find anything in there we can make a buck on. We just dropped Sebastian off at school. Not too often we get to go thrifting by ourselves. Sorry about the wiggle and jiggle. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, back to our local Goodwill. This will be my 4th stop in a short period of time. Second time you're coming with me.
Yes.
So what's been your impression of this particular thrift store? We've lived here about 15 years, by the way.
Well, it's a pretty spacious store. There's plenty of room to move around and get in between things. It doesn't seem like some of them we've been to where it's not terribly overcrowded. There's not heaping piles of stuff on top. It seems to be pretty clean. The clothes are sorted by color, which is kind of nice. Just so if you're looking for a specific color of something. And then of course they do sort it, I think, a little bit more than some thrift stores, but not as good as others as far as sizing and separating out boys and girls and men's and women's clothing.
Yeah, and I've had horrible luck with light color clothing for resale, getting home and finding out I missed some discoloration or spots. And so I do like thrift stores that sort by colors, and I just skip through the yellow, tan, and white. I barely or hardly ever look. But we haven't shopped there much.
No.
You know, we've been thrifting for years, and we don't shop there. And I think the reason is it just feels expensive.
It does. It's not as expensive as the one we went to recently. I thought was horribly overpriced and very prohibitive. But it is. It's expensive. It's like $6 for a pair of pants, and I think you can buy them on.
I think it's $7.
It might be $7.
Well, for
expensive.
jeans, I know it's $7. Now they do have a rotating discounted tag like all Goodwills. But what I've been finding in the last couple of days while I've been going and thinking about this analytically is those get picked through really quick. If it's blue tag sale, you just don't find very many blue tags. What'd you buy last time?
I bought a Tiffany and Company box. It's a a storage box for a silver spreader and server set.
So she bought the box because just the boxes are selling, and this one is the color and design that they were using previous to what they're using now. So it's vintage, I guess.
Yeah, it's a vintage Tiffany & Company server box, and a very good condition. It was only 99 cents, so I figured we'll just take a chance for 99 cents.
So today we're going back and looking to see if possibly what was in the box is somewhere in the store.
Yeah, you never know.
So it's a long shot, and we'll see. But I've seen other resellers do that before, go back for something they missed and find it somewhere. So we're going to look at that. I also am going to start to pay a little more attention to the sporting goods tools. I don't really think they have any electronics, kitchen stuff. I know that they resupply daily, so I'm going to see what those sections look like. But just my previous casual glancing in those sections, it doesn't appear that there's a lot of turnover, so we'll see. Anyway, we're just pulling up to Goodwill now. We're going to go in and shop. We do have 2 bags to donate. I just wanted to bring that up. If you're a reseller, you're going to end up with stuff that don't end up actually listing. Make sure that stuff gets redonated. Somebody can still use it, and there's no reason to fill the landfills up. So recycle, donate, do whatever we can to keep the planet clean. I'm waiting at school to pick my little buddy up. I just got done at the thrift. My 5th trip to my local Goodwill, trying to figure out if it's a viable sourcing option. Yeah, it's expensive, but I did find a Burton snowboarding jacket for $10. I paid up for that, but those sell pretty good. Pretty optimistic about that. I bought an Echo Unlimited sweatshirt, and I bought 2 pair of shorts for $5 each. They're not great shorts with the real high sell-through rate, but they're new with tags, which make it easy to list. Probably list them for $18 free shipping and take my $5 on each pair and be happy. So anywho, that was my trip to the Goodwill, and here comes my little buddy. Where are we, buddy?
We're at school.
Are we waiting in the car line?
Yes.
Yes. What are you going to do after school today? Are you going to stay for the stay and play?
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, tell me about your jacket.
Mario.
Can you tell me about your jacket in your Italian accent?
It's a Mario.
It's me, Mario. Oh, you're awesome, buddy.
I am.
Back at the local thrift. Just dropped my little buddy off at school. He's staying for stay and play afterwards today. That gives Mimi and Papa some more time to get things done. So I thought on my way back to the house I'd make one more stop at this thrift store. I have been taking this opportunity to go to my local thrift almost every day for a period of time to learn more about the value that this thrift store has to offer, and also to learn more about thrifting in general. I've tried a couple different strategies here going through the store. Today what I've done is I brought with me a list of 9 kind of higher end clothing items, mostly men's clothing items that I'll be looking for. I just watched Matt over at Thrift A Life. I'll leave a link in the description to his channel again. If you have any interest in selling men's clothes at all, you need to watch his channel. Anyway, he just put out a video, 12 brands that you need to be looking for. I picked 9 of them that I thought were kind of fit into the niche or niches that I'm working on getting to know better. So I've got my list with me, and I'm going in and I'm only looking for things on that list. The kind of things on that list, I won't tell you all of them, but there's Arc'teryx, Sims, Built, Outer Known, some of those kind of brands. They're not super high end, but they're they're better than the average mall brand as far as sell-through rates and the money that they command. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna head in and I'm gonna see if I can find anything on this list in this store, and then I'm gonna go home and watch these little recaps that I've recorded over the last week and put together a kind of wrap this up and put my thoughts together. So off I go. Okay, so that was educational. Didn't cost me any money, but man, it was time consuming. I must have laid eyes on almost every item of men's clothing in that store, and I didn't find a single thing on my list. I did find, and I put them in my cart, about a dozen items that I think I could have flipped and made $10 on, $8 or $10 on, but my inventory is full of that kind of stuff. I'm looking to start turning a little higher profit. So I noticed this store has a lot of Columbia garments, so I guess maybe that's popular in this area. And I know they sell okay on eBay, but if you're paying, $4, I think the shorts are, and shirts are $5 or $6, it doesn't leave a lot of meat on the bone. So I passed on those. Had an American Fighter t-shirt. I put that back. Had a Peter Millar polo shirt, and I put that back. Had Nike dry fit shirt that was in good condition. I put that back. Had an Adidas polo in good condition. I put that back. It just didn't feel like there was enough profit to be made to be messing with that stuff. So when I need inventory, I'll come look for that kind of stuff. But right now we're at our listing goals. So we're good. And yeah, that's it for this thrift store. Before I give my final wrap up, I want to ask you all, do you remember Kenny Rogers? Remember the song The Gambler? I'm sure that you do. And the chorus says, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And there's a ton of wisdom in that chorus. If you are instituting a new strategy into your business and you don't see results right away, you got to be able to collect and analyze the data, and you got to have good instincts. And if you know when it's worth staying the course and continuing to pursue that strategy, or when it's time to bail, that can be the difference between success and failure in a business. You really do have to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. There's another line in that song, though, that is equally rich in wisdom. It's only mentioned once, and it says, every hand's a loser and every hand's a winner. And we know that in an absolute sense, that's not true. Not every single hand you can win with, and every hand's not a loser. But the idea behind it is that you're dealt a hand, and if you know how to play it, if you play by strategy and probabilities, and you leave your emotions out of it, you can win with a lot of bad hands. And somebody that doesn't play by strategy, play the probabilities, somebody lets their emotions get in the way, they will lose a lot of good hands. This is true in poker, and this is true in business as well. Knowing that every situation has potential to be profitable and beneficial, I've developed a strategy based on the items that I got from the store, what I have listed, and what I've already sold, that I think can make this store a worthwhile stop for me. For one thing, I drive right by it many times a week, so I can get in and out quick if I'm not spending a lot of time looking at things that don't have a lot of potential for me. So I will start with the jackets and sweatshirts, move right to the other side of that aisle where I'll find long sleeve button down shirts. That's where I'm likely to find good work shirts and those kind of things that have been selling well for me. I want to talk about a few things I have listed and a few things I've sold to, I guess, justify my strategy. So I have 2 Columbia hooded sweatshirts for sale. One of them I have listed at about 30 and one I have listed about 45. They're both getting views and interest. I think I'll sell them for close to what I'm asking for them, if not what I'm asking for them. They've only been listed a week or 10 days or so. I have an Echo Unlimited sweatshirt. I'm asking 40 for. It's not getting as many views, but Echo is one of those brands that doesn't have quite the following that Columbia does. But it's a really nice sweatshirt, and people that do like Echo Unlimited clothing, I think will really like this. So I'm optimistic that will sell. Now I do have 2 sold items, and the first one is a Houston Astros vintage baseball hat. I paid $3 for it, paid about $5 to ship it. I sold it for $50 after eBay fees and shipping and purchase price. I made $35 on it, so that was certainly a good find. I don't know if that'll just be a one-off or not, but I'm really happy with that sale. The other item that I already have sold, it's been delivered, I got positive feedback on it, it's a win-win all around so far, was that Burton snowboard jacket that I mentioned in the montage. I paid $10 for it, shipping, eBay fees, etc. I sold it for $80 and it was a $45 profit, so really happy with that. No, this won't be a thrift store where I hope to get 70 or 80% of my items. It's not someplace I'm going to look for a lot of polos and shirts like this. They do seem to be overpriced in those categories. But it is someplace that I will stop by on a regular basis, quick, easy, look for the higher end profit items, and see if I can see if this hand can be a winner for me. Until next time, guys, work hard, work smart, and success will follow.